Hey. Okay, I think we are all set. Just a little testing. Okay, thank you for joining us for our live trading event. Is 7 a.m. I know it's quite early, but I usually get up around 6:30 because early bird catches the worm. So I like to get up early, and it's very, very important as well. European session is a lot of liquidity coming into the market, which is around this 7 a.m. to around 7 a.m. to around 9 a.m. is the high liquidity time. If I see some sort of a good movement, would be determined that I might take a trade or the direction of the plan. Therefore, I like to get up early. So let's just get stuck in. Thanks for joining me anyway. As always, I'm going to start off with the S&P 500. All right. We can see, as I recorded yesterday, showed it to you guys, I still see a bounce through this area here, okay, around the 4,400 area. We're currently hovering around at the minute, but okay, someone's here. I'm just going to let them in. Good morning, Malcolm.
How are you, Jake?
I'm all right. Good. Thanks for joining me. So I'm just starting. Right. So plan for the week. I haven't changed much. Sorry, I haven't seen your plan yet. I
That's all right, man. No worries. How was it? A nice break?
Yeah, it's a good break. But the Milan, I don't want to use the word disappointed, but it is slightly that. The pollution's really high. I've never seen it on my iPhone. It's in red. The weather part say pollution's high, so it is really quite high. That the air is not as fresh, even compared to London. So but apart from that, I went to Lake Como, was really, really good. So I'm gonna get stuck in with the S&P 500. What we are currently seeing. This area here is the current phase 2. It's a bit longer than I expected, but I'm just going to pop something to show you the retracement, Fibonacci retracement. So that was the trend here. So we're bang on around 50% at the moment. Okay. So last phase 1 is still stronger. Let me clear this drawing. So last phase 1 is stronger. I would have preferred it come to here and don't stay here at this level for that many days, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 days in this area here is longer than my liking, I have to say, but it is what it is. I mean, price actions still remain corrective. I still want to be a buyer, but the target probably not as high. You can see the blue box here, and it's coincide with the weekly R2 area.
There's EMAs are crossing as well. Look at that.
Yes, the EMA is about to cross as well. So there is some weakness across the indices. I'm not going to lie, but obviously I'm not indices seller. So, but there is certain stocks that I do, it's on my list to sell individual stock, okay, which I'm going to share that in the group anyway, because certain stock is much more bearish than the indices, so I have no problem selling it. And you know, I said to you last year, I've been learning more about trading stocks, so I'm going to put that into practice and show you guys. So the plan forward is obviously this is just over the direction. We know we are still on a daily change of trend. We may have a bounce, but I see potentially we're just going to do that and then fail and go back to here. If that is what I predict, the sell in May and go away, it's going to get pretty ugly.
Ugly, isn't it?
It's going to get pretty ugly because, you know, if the scenario played out like last week, I said I'm going to take a trade, obviously above here, it didn't, so that's fine. If that it's okay, range here for a few days and boom, take off this previous high somewhere around 4,800. The sell in May, go away, not going to get that ugly. However, looks like we're going to get a pretty ugly May. Something is brewing behind, you know, we're still talking about this inflation, interest rate, because the Fed could do something surprising, like, okay, I'm going to raise interest rate 0.5 and then a 0.5, then that's going to cause quite a lot of concern into the market, but we'll monitor that anyway. So for now, my plan is continuing to be long, but be mindful that I would certainly take some profit off the table. I don't take everything out of the table just because don't try to outsmart the market. I know there's a level here, but price could break through. So I will take some profit around this area here anyway. But really and truly, to get in now, I need to see a change of trend on 4 hours now.
Yes.
This is you can see this price section here is corrective. Yeah, what I mean by corrective is it's quite contained, the selling. Yeah, selling, buy, come back, selling, buy, come back. You can see the last phase 1 on the 4 hour is weakening now. Now we're seeing some buyers. We definitely need to see a change of trend. I'm not going to be ultra aggressive on this because it's just been ranging for too long. Last week I said I need to see a break of this. It didn't. It did on Dow Jones. But Dow Jones straight away failed anyway. Yeah. So we need to see this break, potentially come back for a retest. This is a very good area, the weekly pivot in this area here. Then take it long. So first target 4,550. And then leave some on the table, all right? So the way to manage is take some profit first and watch on a 1 hour. You don't want the 1 hour change of trend. If the 1 hour do a double top like that, your stop loss should be here on your second trade and then let it run, all right? So let it continue to do this swing thingy, then you move your stop loss until eventually kicked you out. That's how I manage your trade. That's how you maximize your gain. Because if you try to say to yourself, all right, that's the profit, bang, then you never, you never learn to be the next level anyway. So the plan is to see a change of trend on S&P 500 to go long. Whether it's today, this afternoon, very unlikely, because this afternoon is probably, I like to see first take off this. Yeah, so potentially tomorrow. Yeah, potentially tomorrow open. Today need to do something convincing, right? So let it settle first, okay? So I'm gonna move on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones is actually holding a bit better. So last week we talked about we need to see this break. It did, but if you see price action, I'll show you. If I was trading this is how I would manage. So you see the price broke out the area, immediately drop like that. Your stop loss should be here. Yeah, shouldn't be here. So you will result maybe a half a loss, but rather than a half a loss, then you arguable you can still be here, but you know I'll be out anyway. It's just me. If the day that you don't play ball, then I'm out. So you can see sometime it can range multiple times in here before it breaks out. So now really you need to take this off first anyway.
Yeah.
And then maybe to here, maybe I'm saying, or the previous high in this area on Dow Jones. My preference is S&P, just personal preference, but trading S&P or the Dow is okay. It's fine. One positive thing that I saw this morning, like I said, I really encourage people to see the first one to look at is Nikkei. Nikkei is finished now, trading pretty much around that. It's not selling. I mentioned multiple times the 27,000 area is very, very important. If I put it in a monthly chart, you'll see. Back in 1991, that was the high. And then before that, even the data in here, 1998, that was there. Multiple time in the previous few months, we found support on the 27,000 level. So it's very important. We are above it today. So we range a bit, we try to fail and then come back, which is fine. It's another support area. I'd rather not. But now we are still at this area. So it's a positive thing for the overall industry. Asia has no selling. And then I'll quickly have a look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong should be suffering because China's locked down again. So the whole Shanghai. The Shanghai is.
I know that's been going on for a little while, though. Is it got worse?
The vaccination is not as popular. It's not fully vaccinated in China yet. They need some time to catch up. And the policy at the beginning was great. The lockdown, strict lockdown, was good to try to develop a vaccine to deal with the coronavirus. But to be fair, it's no longer a news and no longer a major concern. Everybody has it, but everybody's got the vaccine, so we can defend that. So, but even though with the lockdown, we are seeing the selling's quite contained anyway. So we're not seeing massive selling in Hong Kong. In fact, China last week we saw a bounce, and now it just kind of contained anyway. So no massive selling, but it's not a nice chart to trade. I never really trade China, Hong Kong sometime, but it's more bearish chart than anything anyway. You can see on the weekly he's bearish. So it could be on my list to sell around the 23,000 point around here. So if I see the US indices show weakness as the level 4,550 on S&P 500, and I see here, don't take the first one. Don't take the first rejection. Wait for a double top.
Right.
And I'll take the first double top. I won't wait for a break. You can, but I'll wait for that. And then with the break, I add in and then sell ultimately back to as low as the 18. So good reward to risk to sell Hang Seng, but probably later, something around, May is in the corner now. So, something around May time, then I'll look to sell the Hang Seng at that point. Okay. But it's too weak for me to buy. It's too early for me to sell. So it's just a preparation at the moment on that. Dow Jones, we touch base. The main concern is stay with the tech sector, technology. NASDAQ, I really wanted it to hold at the pivot level. We didn't, which is fine. We're still it doesn't change the picture too much. We're still in a change of trend that we could have a bounce, but the bounce could be just to monthly pivot. So we can see is the strongest selling made a double top and boom, continue to drop lower. So I think we are likely to see a bounce because it's slowing down at the moment, but it's the weakest one. I don't really want to buy it. I'll just use it as a reference. Final one that I'm going to show. A lot of people don't see it, but I try to look across the board anyway.
Yeah,
so the Russell 2000 still holding at this trend line, but ultimately the 21 That's what 2,100 in here is a major resistance. Take its head through, it could drop lower. But on the plus side is this: we know bearish market don't last as long as bullish market. So after summertime, we will be looking to buy quite a bit of the stocks. So we'll be running a stock masterclass, not this Friday, next Friday, to show you how to use the technical analysis to do investing more on that. Okay.
What's the time on that, Joe? So just
6:30 nighttime.
Okay.
After work, so it should be should catch it. That is a pretty good one to do that. Me and Luca are going to do another advanced stock trading, so leverage CFD or spread betting course to trade stock. We're gonna do that, and then once we learn, we'll share all of that with you. It's quite pricey. It's for both of us to do is $5K, but for me it's worth it. And then we'll share that with you guys afterward. So yeah, that's the overall picture. We're expecting a bounce in the stock market, whether it's today or tomorrow. Very likely tomorrow.
Yeah.
But dollar. Where do you think dollar index is heading?
I mean, if you look at, so if you just go daily.
Yeah, that's daily.
Look at that. So if you go backwards, first of all, as in smaller
time frame?
No. Zoom out, sorry. So I saw if you go down a bit, okay.
Yeah. You
can see that. If you zoom out a bit more, Jake, just so you can see that further high. Down a bit.
This one?
Yeah. And then when I went to a monthly as well,
I
just wanted to see that level first of all, because I thought, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
but then what I also saw was on my analysis, I was like, okay, there needs to be a healthy pullback here.
Yeah,
first of all,
needs to pull back. But one thing, apart from just the pure technical analysis, I want to use something that I don't know. Have you heard of? Round number, 100.
No.
100 is obviously it's a round number. A lot of trader likes round number. Big traders. Do you know some of the traders? I mean, big traders. They just look at price and buy it. They don't look at technical analysis. So certain things like they look at like round number, okay, it's now above 100. Price, I think it may, yes, it's due for a pullback, but the pullback in here, if we think indice is only going to have a short-term bounce, this pullback may be short-term.
Short-term, exactly. Yeah.
So if it's remain above this 100 area, a lot of people would like to, okay, that's bullish, I'm going to buy. Yeah, that's the $100 barrier is quite important. Last week we said if we see this 100 drop below, great, that's a fake out, take his head through. But as long as it remained above, it was quite tricky to obviously trade. It tricks us, especially on pound. You've got to agree that look, it take. Boom, below 100 and then boom, back up again. So it kind of show you that, okay, I don't really want to be below now. I want to stay above. Okay. Now we're seeing that maybe another sort of exhaustion price action on 1 hour, 4 hour at the moment, but it makes you quite difficult if you want to trade euro. It's rubbish. This price action is rubbish. Right. Use pound, for example. On Thursday, I was traveling to Milan, right? So what I've done is this. I saw this big push up. Then I just set a limit order around here. That was the weekly pivot around this level. I can draw a bit better with a different color, yellow. So when I initially saw this push up, I set just a buy limit around this area because a lot of interaction and also these weekly pivot was here. So I set my limit order around this area. As soon as that price bounce, done that, I stop loss here instead of here, because I don't like it. If you bounce, you should be continue to do that. So obviously kicked me out with a little bit of loss. That's fine. I'm on holiday. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to manage trade. I'm on holiday. I want to enjoy. So it didn't play ball. And to be fair, if I was in the screen, you know me, I wouldn't take this.
No.
It's too aggressive.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the screen. When it's already triggering me in, I can't just go and close the trade. I have to stay in no matter what anyway is in anyway. Ideally, I like to see it like that. Range, and then kicked me in. But no, bang, you know me. Last week when you said gold, when I saw this kind of price action, immediately it's no, I'm not going to take the trade. I don't care. Because I don't like this price action, but this is what we had last week.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? This is very tricky now.
Yeah.
I do have a trend line here, but this is a no man's land.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No man's land. Here is okay. At the bottom is okay. I can be aggressive when it comes down to here. Make a double bottom, 1 hour. Be aggressive. Protect and let it run. Okay, maybe here could be the profit zone, but I like to see it ultimately break and go to around this area. I can't see it go much higher. I can't see it go much higher on that. But definitely, I will take some profit on this blue box if I'm going to take it at the bottom. That's only 2 entry below at the bottom or above this 130.50 area again. So 2 entry on pound. One positive thing that I saw this morning, that's why, you know, I often say a lot of people say, oh, why do you have to get early? And, you know me, I finish late. I finish at 10 monitoring the whole market. But this is our game. We have to work long hours, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
You see, dollar cat, I didn't really like it yesterday afternoon, but today I don't mind it. That's what I mean. A double top formations on the daily. Yeah, you can see. Boop, boop. That's a double top. That one, if you're taking that what Lucas said last week, and now is rejecting that clearly on that. Okay, we have a high test yesterday. So a double top formation, dropping down to hourly. I like the price action here. Yeah, the seller's definitely in control. A bit more control than the previous one. What I mean by that is, this is like, okay, let's try and fail. But this is more control. Yeah, a little bit of cycle. Yeah. A little bit of cycle through that. So I like that. I like this blue box. I will be monitoring that. If I see a pullback and then 15 minutes price actions right, I potentially will be selling here. I limit order, but I'll drop a alert stop loss, target above here, target back to the daily swing low. So a good reward to risk on dollar cat, because it's actually is now on a weekly downtrend. So if I go to weekly,
I think I had this on my thing.
Yeah. So we've broken this. So it could be starting a weekly new downtrend to around here. Okay. So it's pretty weak weekly downtrend, but it is a weekly downtrend. So daily, as you can see already, is, you know, bearish price action. So at least to this, the last daily low, or potentially even lower than to this level. So good reward to risk to take on that, and also coincide with below the monthly pivot. So dollar cat is actually today would be top on my list to try and catch dollar cat. But ideally, you would like to see euro fight back. So you want to see euro fight back a bit as well. So truly that I want to see some weakness on dollar, but this is pretty bad price action. Pound fight back a bit, yeah, which you can see is already fighting back. but it's just in the no man's land for me to take. You could be aggressive taking these and that, but I like it at the bottom or above. So looks like cat is ideal because that structurally on the hourly, I can see what it's trying to do. It's broke off. If you see a 15-minute, you'll see a head and shoulder, and here is broken off.
What is that level you got there, Jake? Sorry.
This level, the blue box.
Yeah.
I will write it down to you. The blue box area is 12601. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could go higher. Don't get me wrong. It could.
Yeah.
It could go. So that's why I use 15 minutes. You want to see like this. You want to see the phase twos like that, and then the big 15 minutes, big push up, and then fail. So the last sort of push up and then that. So something around this area would be nice. It could go to the monthly pivot in here, which is no problem. I will set the limit order in there, but it's not the biggest issue. Whatever you get in this area is fine, as long as your stop loss is here. Okay, we try to aim the best entry possible, but at the end of the day, this is a good zone to get. So 126.01 to 126.10 is a zone that I would potentially get in. So look for let me see if I can find an ideal price action to show you beforehand. You say for instance, this is the opposite. When it changed to trend, the first high low, can you see the crossover? It's quite nice through here on the 6th of April, 3 o'clock. Bang, come back for the crossover. We have the crossover now. Just ultimately what you want to see in between, come back for pullback in between these two EMA 20, 50, 1 hour.
Yeah,
around this zone is okay. You can see that in previously as well. In here, bounce, bounce in between the EMAs, was crossover, come back, bounce and bounce up. So similar behavior like that. Okay, come back. It could be that, or it could be around this area. Once between 126.00 to 126.10 area is this area that I like to get a short. As long as your stop loss is here, it's fine. I mean, this is arguable. Last night you could have taken just the daily bar and then just wait for pullback, but I don't trade daily bar. I want to wait for a confirmation, and this is the confirmation. That's why I'm waiting for the retest. So this is what we call, you can either take the breakout here, stop loss here, which is fine. There's no problem at all. If I see it in the morning or in the afternoon, I'll do that. But I saw that last night, the high test daily, but this is what I'm waiting for. Break this, which is did, and then bam. So that's this, and you can see my alert would be here. See, dollar cat 1 o'clock last night broke the level. So in the morning, I just look at that alert. All right, okay. So now I want to be a seller of dollar cat. So wait for more confirmation on other pairs as well. Make sure we are seeing dollar index a bit more weakness. So if we can set an alert here as well. We can see. I want to see this break anyway.
Yes.
So
So
we've got a bit of room to play with on dollar cat. So I like that. So that's pretty much. I mean, Kiwi is potentially reached to a level that you can buy, but it's a change of trend. So I'm not really keen on that.
I was using it more. This is one for me. More to look at later on in the week, maybe just to see what we're doing on DXY, just to see. I mean,
it's if you see indice buying, you are going to see you're bound to see some buying on Kiwi and Aussie. You could see that happen. Back to this, and then ultimately if it failed, then we look for something to sell. That means buying dollar.
Good question, Jake. I noticed on your because this is one thing I'm trying to learn this week. You see on your chart there, because this is where my effectiveness is not coming in. So you see on your chart there, you've got a daily. Yeah, but your pivot, you've got a shadow that I can see. So what further up? So if you look at your daily pivot there.
This is a monthly pivot I've got.
Exactly. So what I need to get my head around is on a daily chart.
Okay, I will explain to you. The most important pivot.
Yes,
is
monthly, which I always mark on my chart. You see it on there anyway.
Monthly first.
Yes.
Daily pivot. Is it's all relatively the same. Trend is bigger time frame.
Yes.
Smaller time frame is for me to look for elegant entry. All right. So you would argue this is a mini uptrend through this area. I'm just going to draw it.
Yeah.
You would not argue this is a uptrend daily, correct? Now we got the direction.
Yeah.
Now we have the monthly pop, the pivot pop now. So I'll go back to history to pop this. So now you have, that's previous month. Yeah. You see S2 here, spot on should be your take profit area.
Yes.
Yeah, S2. That is if your end of day. If you trade, say here, 14th of March. I'm gonna put a drawing in here. 14th of March. Say you miss this entry in here. See you missed the end of day entry in here. 15th of March. You drop down. Now you got the direction. You know the R2. I'll put another. The S2. Sorry, R2 is your profit taking area. So that's the area that you should trade. Now you drop down to hourly. Okay, now I'm going to find the box, which is here. That's the box. Obviously, you can see this is a double bottom. You can take the breakout, but if you miss the breakout, this is where you use your daily pivot. Yeah. Unfortunately, like if you see, you can take this daily pivot here. Yeah, but multiple days in here, you can take this daily pivot, stop loss, S1. You still be in profit in here. So that's how I use daily pivot, but sometimes
you're using, I think what my question is more like, okay, so on the smaller time frames, you'd be using daily pivot. On the bigger time frames,
I will use daily pivot just to see if I can find a zone. So say for instance today on the dollar CAD that I want to sell it, right? So first of all, I see a monthly pivot. Well, let me just put the blue box in here. That's one of the area that potentially that I like to see it. And now I will drop down to daily pivot to see where's the daily pivot. Daily pivot is more higher than monthly pivot.
Right.
So I think, and reading the price section here, I don't really want to pull back in here. So today, the pivot level is not as significant as price action. That's more important than that. But if price action coincide with pivot, then excellent. So, you got to think this price action is the most important indicator. So I will use that. It's just for more conferences on that. So smaller 1 hour is daily, and then anything above 4 hours or daily chart, you use monthly pivot.
Monthly, perfect.
So even this one, we have a monthly pivot. You can see, all right, where can I be my take profit area? Where's the monthly? So then go back to daily chart, have a look. Okay, maybe I can stretch to S1, S2 maybe, but that's the thing with trading. You need to have a plan on, okay, where would I like to take profit? First and foremost, we think it's only a short-term buy or short-term sell on dollar. So let's take some profit in here. That could be a zone that I think it could stop, or ultimately here, right? So take some profit first and then use 1 hour swing to manage your trade to get to whatever. That's the ultimate target. I'll set it there. I don't care drop lower anyway. That's 121 is my ultimate target on dollar cap and that. So yeah, that's how I use pivot on that. So the last one that I want to show is I know I tried to sell dollar yen, but obviously it is still remain bullish.
Yeah.
It is hard to trade on daily because it means the trend is already long gone. So we are due for a pullback. But because the price action remain bullish, I still want to buy. And you can see the last pullback was bouncing the 8 EMA. So we could see something like, I think this pullback will be stronger because the longer the trend going on, the longer it is. So if it go back to the 20 EMA is catching up. I would take a trade in here, but not to the swing high, something like a 2-1, smaller time frame, and that's it. Okay. Dollar yen is on the list to buy, but wait for a pullback first on dollar yen. But very, very short term, we are late of the party.
Yes.
So, So 2-1 is the plan on dollar yen, and then we'll see how it goes in that after that. So very short term trade. Gold. What the hell is gold doing?
I don't like any of it.
Look at that. I mean, the reason why I said, from my inside, this is looks bullish, but if you drop down to hourly, it's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I don't like the price action at all. And yesterday's a high test bar rejecting this 2000 area, 2000. So against a big number, 2000, it smashed through last time. It dropped that. Now it's below. It's too early for me to sell. If it gets back below these 19, if I drop to 4 hour, you will see. I will trade a 4 hour trend. So ultimately, first thing first, I need to see a trend line break. So something like that in here, need to break first. And price needs to do something, maybe the first high low on that, or you guys can wait for another one. So up to you. I mean, what we teach is you need to find a trend, but I like to get in early, so I will get it here. When it breaks, convince me, come back for a retest, look for a smaller time frame change of trend, take the first trade for me. I probably will trade gold more than silver, but silver is more bearish. I explain why I will trade gold more. So you can see again a high test in here, but we really need to get back below the 25.40 area. Dropping down the 4 hour. If you notice something on silver, it's a lot of wixel.
Yeah, look at that.
So what the hell is this, man? It kind of sometimes it's very difficult to, and it's not, you have to put your stop loss such in a wider, which is rubbish. But ultimately, I want to use it as a reference. I want to see it change the trend back below the 25.50 to sell. So, all right, but when, I don't know yet. So maybe it will pop a bit higher because of dollar weakness, but it's not something I want to get overly excited at the minute. Moving on to to oil. Finally, I think we are seeing we could see a sell-off very soon. I mean, price action is now looking tired on that. We're now on monthly pivot. A couple of things that indicating we are maybe forming a lower high. Okay, if you want to recycle, by visually lower high.
Exactly.
Lower high. So we have a downtrend on the day. Okay, obviously take some profit in here first. We know that's resistant. If it breaks below, then great. Your second trade could potentially go maybe here or even there. So good reward to risk on oil to sell, which is okay because oil price has gone up because of the Ukrainian war. But now everything's kind of calmed down a bit. Of course, it's still sad, but you know, it's dragging. It's dragging now. So, and you know, whether Russia will win or Ukraine will defend, I don't know. I hope Ukraine can defend themselves, hopefully. But the longer it dragged on, the longer we see these sort of things anyway. So it's dried up now. We have overbought territory, and we actually have a very strong continuation divergence as well. I like that. I use this indicator mix. Obviously, first is price action, and that's secondary, but that is another conferences for me. So how do we trade this? It's similar. Just drop down to daily, from daily to hourly. Look for a change of trend. All right. So multi-two entry, you can be aggressive. Yeah, that's the head and shoulder pattern. If you look at 15-minute, it will be a lot clearer. Yeah. So draw that to show you guys. That's shoulder, head, and the shoulder, right? That's the first one. Wait for price to take off this. Look for the first pullback. Potentially tomorrow daily pivot. If it step down to around this area, could be my first entry and stop loss there. Okay, that's on my list to sell oil because we got the confirmed direction, and I'm using the hopefully daily pivot. I can't control daily pivot, the price action, and then coincide hopefully with the daily pivot or monthly pivot. Anyway, this area here is important. So 106, 66, this area 60. Look for a retest for me. I will go short on oil, and you know, look across the board over other. I mean, Brent would be doing similar things anyway. So Brent 1 hour is forming up similar pattern daily, very similar to the crude oil. Crude looks a bit more bearish because the last swing daily low broken that. So, and then you can also look at heating oil. You can see that all showing similar pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Heating oil, natural gas. Natural gas maybe a little bit more bullish. Natural gas is on its own, still continue to do that. So, you know, heating oil is, so I think it's a good sign. Gasoline, yeah, gasoline as well, similar pattern forming up. So if all 3-4 of these commodity energy sector do break down on a smaller time frame later on today, tomorrow I will be selling crude oil. So, or this afternoon, depending on how price develop. So that's the plan. Top of my list: dollar CAD long, indices long, crude oil long, short, pound short, crypto. Crypto is bearish. We have no reason to buy it. Commitment of traders still bearish. I mean, I don't want to confuse you guys too much, but just think about it. The very, very simple term, the Bitcoin whales is selling. Okay.
Yeah.
They are still selling. They bought a little bit, but they're still selling more. Ethereum, they're selling even more. All right. So we can see on a weekly chart, it's bearish. It's taken the previous low. You can argue we have a downtrend on weekly. Yeah, that's a lower high. That's the lower low because that's broken. And now all of this here is just correct. This is a corrective. This is a bearish flag that I draw in here. Bang, this area, pom, ping pong, maybe back to here. That's a good point to sell. Take a little bit of profit through here, keep some. Maybe we will see 20. Maybe.
Nah, here these
I'll be
points.
very surprised. I would be very surprised that we don't see 20,000. The reason why I said that is just this is the speculation to the perfection instrument.
Yeah.
That's no fundamental to support too much. Yeah, the people said that the end of US dollar. That's, you know, I don't think so. Not yet. Anyway, probably not in our lifetime. It is another instrument that to hedge, to trade. It's beautiful. Of course, I like to buy Bitcoin when the right price. I like to sell, also to trade in Bitcoin. So, you know, it's okay to trade as well, but you guys can't trade it. I will need to speak to a broker. JDR will probably soon adding Bitcoin on that. So hopefully we can trade it on our recommended broker very soon. So price remain bearish. Now it's a bit too early to sell. We can see this is been range for a few days. So I think we are likely to see a bounce correlate with the indice, but 45 or even fail 45 to sell. So, you know, it may have a double top like that first. So here and then fail, and then here, the first double top formation, I will sell Bitcoin. First target 40K, take some and then leave it, let it run. So on Bitcoin, similar things on Ethereum as well. I mean, they are looking bearish, which is not a bad thing. You can see weekly is bearish. All right, try to take off this high, but overall is still in a corrective phase anyway. Daily, we can see a rejection through here, 3,500. We may see a fail around 3,300. So that will not be aggressive because that could be the first daily double top in that 3,300. Again, take some profit, 2,600, 500 area and let it run. I think we are going to see sub 1,000, 1,300 or maybe even lower on Ethereum, 1,200 or even 1,000 mark wouldn't surprise me. So, but around this 1,000 mark, I'll be busy buying.
That's what I'm not interested in. I'm in trading it. I can't trade it anyway. It's so hard.
Yeah, but buying is a
buying
good
dollar cost averaging
on top of your list to buy some.
It's there,
in there. You know what? Look for the right price action.
Yeah.
First one, I think that will be aggressive because, you know, think about this. You know, it came from $100-something in 2020. In 2021, it's gone to 4,000. That's 4,000% gain. Right, so it's gonna have itchy hands. People will sell around 3,500. Don't tell me, even though you say you are a genius, you get in a 120, it go to 4,000. You didn't sell, and you see price go to 1,000. Doesn't hurt you. Don't lie to yourself. But it hurts, right? If it doesn't hurt you, then your number is probably very small. Think about it. If you put 10K in here and it will grow 40 times, that's 400K up there. And now it go up from 400K drop to 100K. Does it hurt? It bloody hurts.
Yeah.
It bloody hurts, right? If it doesn't hurt you, your number is not great enough. People trade millions. Yeah, if you put $1 million in here, you go to 40 million to 10 million. Does it hurt? It hurts so bad, right? You might not even get up. So don't fool yourself. It doesn't hurt, right? So if it goes to 4,000, you sell it at 3,000 something, great. That's all right. You can't make all the money. At least you didn't give back to the market, and you buy it back at 1,000. So that's the plan for crypto. Longer term, I want to buy. Shorter term, I will short it, and I will look to speak to our partnership to include that in there, and then once it's ready, we'll share that with you. All right.
All right, buddy.
That's
I've got to get ready.
I will put if I see any trade that we talked about, I'll put it on the group. But any question, just
I'll pop some. All right, man. Have a good day.
You too.
Take care. Thanks. Thank you. Bye. Bye.